Hello and good afternoon. It is Wednesday, November 20th, 1:30 p.m., and we are continuing our conversations. I almost said with candidates, but we are out of election. It's because I'm digging into campaign finance that I have candidates on my minds, but we are continuing our Ask series, and with this series, we have special guests. Newport's leadership joins us every month, including the school superintendent, who you will hear from today, the city manager, who you'll hear from tomorrow, as well as the mayor and city council and many other special guests. So stay tuned to What's Up Newp for all of the latest. If you ever want to submit a question, you can do so right on our website as well, or live as we are live. Frank Prosnich joins me, and he is live. How are you, Frank?
Oh, I'm glad I'm live. I'm doing okay.
All right, I got that out somehow. But joining us today is the superintendent of Newport Public Schools, Colleen Burns Jermain. Superintendent, how are you?
I'm doing well, thanks, Ryan. How are you?
Doing all right. Doing all right. This is the first time we have caught up since November 5th, since the election, since results, since we know that there's a little bit more money in there for some projects, as well as since City Council approved an additional 2.9 blah 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 million for school committee. Any reaction to that? And then I'm gonna let Frank take over.
We're very appreciative of the City Council and their awarding the funding from the ask that the school building co-chairs put forward. So we're very excited about that. We're looking forward. We just keep looking forward to September 2025 and opening the new building. It's a very exciting time. They're wrapping up the outside, the exterior of the building right now. They're fine-tuning the interior of the building. So there's still a lot of work to do, but we're very hopeful and we're looking forward to September 2025. So it's all good news. We do have a shift in the school committee. We do have some new members, and we look forward to working collaboratively with them. One is Dr. Robert Power, who's been on the committee before and has a lot of school experience, and the other is Miss Beth Cullen, Mrs. Beth Cullen, who has always been part of the city committees and work, and is a very devoted community person. So it's gonna be an exciting time. So we're looking forward to it.
I have a quick follow-up on that because it's been like an FBI secret. Do you know what happened last night at Newport City Council's caucus? Who was elected chair?
I know who was elected chair at the school committee.
School committee.
Caucus.
I'm sorry, school committee.
Yes.
I know City Council as well. City Council is Charlie.
I was going to say Charlie Holder. School committee. Right. At school committee, we have Mr. James Dring is going to be the chair, and Becky Boland will stay on as the co-chair.
Excellent. Look at that. I've emailed several members and just haven't heard back, but excellent. I appreciate that information.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Colleen, in my warped sense of humor, I'm thinking when you said that they had wrapped things up or were wrapping things up, I was thinking of somebody actually going around the building and wrapping it up and trying to figure out how anybody could ever get in.
Yeah, but there you go.
He's here all day, folks.
A big bow on it.
That 2.9 million, does that complete all funding? Are you now basically even?
Yes, now we'll be able to get the certificate of occupancy and move forward with the September 2025 opening. So that helps tremendously.
So I always ask a question about cosmetology and automotive. Where are we with those?
Cosmetology and automotive are still not in the new building. Dr. Robert Power did run on the campaign platform of restoring both those programs into the new building. So we're trying to think of ways we can do that. And I know he's been very active throughout the entire community, as well as talking to city council members about how we can work together to keep those programs. We will definitely, I can foresee in the tea leaves that there will be some fundraising campaigns going on for both of those. And we'd like to be very aggressive now that we know we have enough to complete the building. And the work never stops, and we want to try as best as possible to get the cosmetology and the auto program into the new building. So that work is underway. I want to give a shout out to the cosmetology folks. We've probably received at least 50 letters of support for that program right after the election. And I know they're also copying the city council members, city council elect. On December 10th, I believe that's when our next regular school committee meeting will be. I know I've already been told that we're going to have some of those supporters at our meeting to put a plea out to the community and try to embrace and encourage the school committee to support that. The school department, of course, supports having both those programs, and we want to see what we can do to make it a reality. It's kind of one step at a time. We're trying to get the new school building completed under circumstances of, the inflation increases, materials, labors, all those things that post-COVID very graciously awarded to us while we were in the middle of this build. And now, as we're trying to wrap up the build, again, thank you to the City Council for their support. And we will now move forward with finishing the school building project. And I know we have a lot of community support that wants to say, wait a minute, we're not finished yet. Let's get cosmetology and let's get the automotive program into that new building as well. We want all our children to have that great experience.
Well, I was just looking at Champlin Foundation announced its $9.1 million in awards yesterday or the day before, and it was interesting to look at the list and find that there were a few public schools that were receiving some funding for different projects. Has Newport looked into Champlin at all for any funding?
That surprises me because, yes, we have looked into Champlin Foundation, and we have been looking at the criteria for the grants. We are aware of the cycles. As a matter of fact, we were having this conversation yesterday for some of the foundations. Right now, at this point in time, I believe it's the Champlin Foundation. Their application for public schools opens up in June. At this point in time, they have a round, I believe, going forward that does not include. They're very specific about what can be funded, what cannot be funded, whether it's your first award from the Champlin Foundation, et cetera, which Newport has been fortunate. We have received awards in the past, but we are looking into all of those. And we have received, for instance, we received over $500,000 thanks to Senator Jack Reed for workforce development. As everyone is aware, at the very beginning of this project, we were very fortunate with the glass and all from the Van Buren Foundation helping us to make sure we have a lot of natural light in our new high school. So we will keep moving forward, seeking local and national foundations to help us to continue to provide the programs we want for our students.
I know the next round for Champlin is for submission of applications is December 15th through January 15th, but I do not know if that is for a specific.
I don't believe that. Well, first, I don't think we could make that round. I don't know if that one's for us though, Frank. I'd have to go back and look at the criteria sheet. My memory from yesterday is not serving me well right now at the moment, but we did go.
I'm not sure. I have to take a look as well, but I know they and then they go June again as well.
Yes.
Let me go to the subject that we always also talk about what's going on with the teachers.
Well, tomorrow we are scheduled to go to the labor board to discuss the unfair labor practices they filed against us, as well as the grievances that they did. So we're scheduled tomorrow to be up at the labor board from 9 to noon. Nothing's changed there, and we'll wait and see. We imagine that, like the grievance arbitration process, will take some time. We have selected on our side of the house some names to be considered for a new arbitrator. For those that don't know the process, a TAN will do that as well. and they'll be submitted. And then what happens is they come back to us again, and we're going through the AAA, American Aberration Association, this time.
Arbitration. Yeah.
Right. And they will come back to us and, show us, what maybe some names we had in common. And then we make a final decision. And then from there, whomever, and you're familiar with this, whomever is selected, then we start the process of arbitration.
It's a pretty good process. And AAA, American Arbitration Association, has a pretty substantial list of people that it
does.
that it can put out there.
Right.
I would say in all my years as president or administrator of the Providence Newspaper Guild, never once did we go to arbitration. It's not really true, but every time we got in the room, we ended up sitting on the side and settling. So we'll see. Good luck in terms of that process.
Well, thank you. That's the way we always wanted to be. But, when we tried I'll call it the MEDARP, the mediation arbitration,
right.
We were hoping through mediation that would happen, but we weren't successful. So we'll see how it goes. And in the end, whatever is decided, then we move forward. The good part is we're all in this for the same reasons. We want what's best for our children and community in the Newport Public Schools. We just need clarity on some things as far as who gets to decide what types of positions are in the schools and things of that nature, and how jobs are awarded. So we'll see how that plays out.
The work to contract, does that cause any disruption at all?
I've been asked this question a couple of times by others, and no, not really. The teachers came up with a new type. It's not called work to rule. It's it has another title to it, but basically it allows the teachers to decide what they want to do, come and go as they please, do what they want to do after school, before school, attend events, do whatever. They did ask that all the members continue to wear red on Fridays and to attend the school committee meetings to show unity. So there are some things they're keeping in place, but I have to say, for the most part, everyone's doing their job, and they have been doing their job since we started this school year. I think as time goes on, it gets a little easier for everyone. I did have a parent meeting this morning, and at my parent meeting, the parents did mention to me that they did feel there's still some tension, and some teachers are not happy in the positions or jobs they have. That was discussed at the meeting today, but everyone's doing their jobs and carrying on.
So with the election of Donald Trump to the presidency, one of the things that he ran on was eliminating the Federal Department of Education. Mm-hmm. And while he has nominated someone to that position, he's also said that individual, McMahon, will be part of her job, or maybe most part, would be to actually effectuate what he had said during the campaign. What impact would that have upon the local schools?
I don't know how much of an impact that would have, because, first off, I think if it does happen, it would take time. I believe the former president also, there was some talk he was going to do that in his last term, but I do understand it was a campaign promise he made during this run for the presidency. That would most likely be a trickle down. I'll call it a trickle down, where if the Fed is dissolved, then from there, what's the impact it has on the state? And I would imagine the state role in government would change quite a bit, and how that would change, that's to be determined. But I think, like a lot of others, I think we have to just see how it plays out, if it plays out, and then address it as needed.
We had in some states, Texas, I think, is the most recent of introducing them, or wanting to introduce religion and the Bible into the public schools. Mm-hmm. There's been no movement in that in terms of this area at all. Have we heard from anyone who has attempted to promote that?
No, I have not.
It will be interesting to see how that plays out. How are we doing with attendance?
Attendance, we're doing well each day at every school. We're seeing improved attendance from the previous year, which is great because last year we were seeing improvements from the previous year. So it keeps on getting better. Is it where we want it? Absolutely not. We need to continue to work on it. We are trying to get more people involved in the attendance. We share the state leaderboard. We also have our own local attendance that we look at every day on a regular basis to see what we're doing. We have student attendance officers and we have student support people in our schools that help at each level. And the Department of Ed just came out with special calendars, magnetic calendars in English and Spanish to share with families and pass out to families, highlighting the importance of attendance. It's improving. It's not where we would like to see it, but it's still a work in progress.
Let's hear Thompson. Frank Thompson last week got recognized for a 2.6% increase. So recognized by the governor as well as,
Thompson had the best increase for all the middle schools in the state. Yes. Thompson did get a shout out last week.
I was looking at the numbers on from the state comparing last year to this year. And maybe I'm wrong, but it showed that that those who are on track for chronic absenteeism actually rose a little bit. It was 20.5% last year, and they're looking at 21.9% this year. For Thompson, Thompson did decrease from 22.7%, 21.5%. And Rogers increased from 29.5 to 34.9. Do those numbers match what you see?
So your present numbers may be correct, but I'm not sure what the other numbers are from when.
That was from last year at this time, supposedly.
Okay. So I can even while no, I can't because I have to go off this too. But I can get on and look at it. No, even this morning I saw that we had percentage increases. So I'm not sure I don't know if we're both looking at the same data or different data.
You could read data all different ways for sure.
Right, right.
And it's still an upwards battle. What are you doing, or how are you doing, or what innovations are happening in order to try and improve the situation?
It's always about, the majority of the time, it's not about the children, it's about the adults. And it's about what's happening at home and trying to get the adults to support children, especially at the elementary ages. You know, they're not in control as to sometimes whether they're going to get up and go to school or whether everything's ready for them to go to school in the mornings. So we're doing outreach with parents. We go to the homes and we pick up the children. We have sessions with parents and adults about the importance of school. We share with them the data that it shows how many days when your child misses X amount of days, how it impacts their student achievement. We even have online, we have the difference between students that take their RICAS tests, those that are in school on a regular basis and those that aren't, because if you're not in school, you can't learn. So we have a multitude of different tools we're using in our schools to make sure we try to tap every child as far as improving attendance.
I know it's hard probably to take a look at this internally, but I wonder when we take a look at those statewide standardized testing and we look at the differentiation you're moving.
I am.
To look at the...
I've got sun coming in here. Okay. Go ahead.
But to look at the differentiation in terms of wealth, that sounds harsh, but those kids that come from wealthier households who have different conditions at home usually will perform better in the standardized testing than kids who don't come from those kind of households. Am I correct with that?
You're correct, absolutely. And as a matter of fact, I've always said you can take the RICAS scores, the standardized test scores, put them in column A, then take the level of poverty in each district and put them side by side, and you will see what a difference wealth makes in a community. So you can definitely see that. There's an inverse, no, there's a direct relationship between wealth in a community and the test scores. And there's no argument. You can go online, take a look at the test scores. You can also look at whether it's an urban or a suburban district. It's no, and I'm moving again. I feel like I'm on a rotating stage here. It's no secret that when children have, to your point, all those supports at home, they don't have to worry about where they're going to sleep or where the next meal is going to come from. Sometimes the priority is not education. Sometimes the priority is not going to school. Although one of the toughest things about snow days, about whether we're going to have school or not, I know that we're going to have many children that won't eat that day because they won't be getting their meals. So that's why our community partners are such a great asset for Newport. They can help us when we know approaching storms are coming or bad weather, so we can send home meal bags just in case there is not school.
Are those standardized tests an appropriate measure of how well the kids are doing in school?
It's a measure. It's something the state has used to determine, and that's the kind of, I'll say, that's their report card to the federal government as far as how the schools are doing in Rhode Island. It's a tool we can all use to see how we're doing comparative to other districts. But when you break it up into subgroups and when we look at our demographics, it's not as powerful sometimes as looking at post-graduation rates, looking at how successful you are as far as meeting the needs of your children in your community and your graduation rates. We look at that. It's one of many factors we need to look at, but it is something that everyone wants to hold all school districts accountable for. So we can't shy away from that, and we have to continue to look at that data to see how we can improve. As I shared, I believe, at a recent, maybe a few interviews back, that we have learned with our ML population that when they start to attain the language and they become more English proficient, they have actually outscored our English-speaking children on standardized testing. So we have had a model at the high school for now, I think 3 to 4 years. Principal Vance, Dr. Mooney, Assistant Principals Monahan, and Focarelli have been working on that with the teachers that are ML certified up here. And that is why we know it works when we have teachers in our classroom that know how to work with students that are non-English speaking and help them to be successful. Because it's not that they don't have the capacity to learn the subjects. We all know it's that English translation. So when our teachers have the skills to be able to teach our children that are not completely English fluent, we are being successful and we continue that trend. So that's why down at the elementary level, the goal is we get most of our students that come in as kindergartners. This is the 3rd year in a row. We're looking at this trend that most of them are, I'll call them, they're a level 3 or a level 4. They require more services. I think I have that right, or it's 1, 2. They need the most services. But if we address that early and effectively, we're hoping by the time they get to 3rd and 4th grade, they'll need limited amount of support. So by the time they get to Thompson. So we're looking at our data. We're mapping out next year. We're looking at our numbers for this year. I know in my Monday update to the staff, I've shared with them that we're starting to look at these numbers, and it looks like we are going to need more teachers that are certified in ML. The good news for Newport is we have teachers already enrolled in a certification program. We have a new certification program for 10 teachers coming up. And RIDE is looking at draft regulations on ML, which may allow to provide services for students that are not, that are almost English proficient, to just have ML professional learning or some kind of professional development coursework. So we're watching that very carefully. And at the same time, this is the time of year we start to get ready with our budget and look at our staffing, which is 82% of our total operating budget, and take a look at that. And then we look at, we have a bus contract, which Director Gonzalez and the team did an excellent job of securing. So we know we have that known cost going forward. We've got a few other contracts we have to renew and up, and then we'll be able to better forecast. We do expect to have some kind of gap. We're not sure what that gap's going to be at this moment.
I'm going to ask about the budget in a minute, but I have one other question about multi-language learners. Do we know what the breakdown is of kids coming in the elementary schools, early years in elementary schools, versus kids coming in who are not language proficient, who are maybe in 6th or 7th grade and beyond?
I would say the majority are coming in at the elementary level, but at the high school level, when they're 15 and 16, we see more students coming in at that level than we do per se at the middle school level. So I'd say the little ones, and then I'd say the high school. And I bet, I haven't dug deep on that data, I bet they're very close, but I won't be surprised if it's at the elementary, the way we've been trending with our little ones at kindergarten registration.
Which group makes the greatest progress, the younger ones or the kids in high school?
The younger ones, they always do. Yeah, very, very, very quickly, much quicker than an older child, an older adult. That's, a lot of adults struggle with learning new languages. The younger ones definitely do.
And I'm going to guess the struggle with language, particularly in the older kids, creates a higher level of frustration, which then brings about other situations.
It can, and that is why I think Rogers High School and the teachers here are doing an amazing job. I have to give a shout out to Anna Gomes, she's our family coordinator for our ML students with Evelyn Folcarelli. Both are bilingual, and a shout out to Mr. Borgetta, Anthony Borgetta, who's also learning the language, along with a lot of our other teachers, so they can communicate with the students and the parents. But I think our high school especially does an excellent job as far as making the young people feel comfortable and knowing that we appreciate them, their culture, and we're here to support them to be successful. So we don't see a lot of the frustration, Frank, that I understand what you're saying, but we're fortunate in that way that the community here at Rogers High School has been able to address that. And we also have, I want to say Conexion Latin. Rebecca Gomez and her team are always available to us to help us. So that team, that partnership has been excellent.
So you're into the budget process, correct?
We are. We are.
And you sent out a survey, I believe, to parents. Have you gotten much response yet?
We had at the last, yes, we did. Well, I'd like more. That's why we're going to run it again this week. We had about 40 to 50 responses. We had some creative solutions, and we're looking forward to hearing more. We kind of want to have an idea and understanding of what the community and parents would like us to look at, to consider in that budgeting process. We can't necessarily do everything or follow everything and anything we get back in the survey, but it helps us to get an idea, a flavor of where people are. We know that staff, teachers, the teachers in the classroom are our most important asset, and making sure we have the teachers with the skills in front of our children and the type of skills they need is critical in order for us to be successful. So we will continue to focus on that, and we'll see how it goes.
A broad range of questions I thought that were pretty good. I have one more question.
I think we're getting the boot. I got
contracts,
and I don't think he said traveling or in motion. So you're in motion.
What contract negotiations are up or ongoing?
None. All contracts go through at least 2026, if not 2027. Yeah.
And pretty much fully staffed?
We are fully staffed, yes. We still are having a tough time with paraeducators. We have seen a sharp increase in students receiving IEP services. And we are trying to make sure we have enough paraeducators in our classroom to support them. So that is the one area we still need to address.
I'll end it there because I saw that steamroll going on. But
hey, I'm just trying to be mindful of the superintendent's schedule so that way she keeps joining us every month.
Yep. All right. But I have announcements. All right.
Yes.
Because first of all, tonight we have a policy meeting at 5:30 at Pell Policy Subcommittee. We have NACTAC info sessions for parents this Saturday from 9:30 to 11. So this is for community-wide, island-wide, Tiverton, Little Compton, come on down. So that's from 9:30 to 11. And then we have another parent meeting on Wednesday night, December 11th, 5:30 to 7 for NACTAC. So if you're seriously considering CTE, which we have had the largest subscriptions interest we've had ever last year, we broke records. But we still, especially with the new school building opening, we suspect we're gonna hear a lot. And we've been going through recruiting the past past 4 weeks, Director Young and Ms. Clark. Financial aid night, that's important for all families, 5 o'clock at the Rogers Library on Monday, November 25th. Okay, so Monday night, if you want to learn more about financial aid, 5 o'clock at Rogers. School building committee meeting is going to be December 9th. It is not on the 2nd, it's on the 9th. School committee meeting, the first regular one is going to be on Tuesday, December 10th. But I'm hearing rumors we may have one sooner. So stay tuned for that. We may have one sooner. What's that?
For any particular purpose?
I can't say at the moment, but I'm hearing rumors. Okay, sorry. Okay, Rogers Theater, Almost Maine. The Drama Club is presenting Almost Maine out at the Middletown Cafeteria on December 13th and 14th. Just a reminder that we are on holiday break starting Wednesday, so Monday and Tuesday. Let's make sure we all get into school. And then on Wednesday, we're giving everyone time to get those turkeys ready for Thursday. And then we come back to school on December 2nd, swearing in of our new committee and the council, December 1st, Sunday at CCRI at 3 o'clock. And
Rogers versus Tiverton on Thanksgiving.
What's that?
Rogers versus Tiverton football on Thanksgiving.
That's right. It's a home game.
Yes, and congrats to Rogers on one heck of a season so far.
Great season. They had a really great season. Really, really good.
You join us next on December 18th.
I do have one more question. I wanted you to maybe reinforce something that you had written in your message, which was to remind people, and particularly I would think seniors, about thinking about their post-education to get to start to prepare for some of those things. What should they be doing?
They should be planning. They should be, I know, for those that are thinking of possibly college, those applications are underway. Financial aid is so important, and the FAFSA, FAFSA, they need to fill out that FAFSA. That application process opens up the world to a variety of different grants and money opportunities they would not know if they did not fill it out. And that's called FAFSA, F-A-F-S-A. Rogers will have some nights to help parents with filling out the applications. And then I know CCRI is going to be working with us, partnering up with us to help us with that as well. But if they're not considering that, which is fine, then let's start talking about different career opportunities, pathways they want to do. We have internships here over at Rogers. Is there some kind of interest they have? You know, those children that are enrolled in CTE are already, like the people in carpentry, the ones in culinary, the ones in ad design. They're all already reaching out to different places for summer work or internships. So I think other students that aren't quite ready to take on either the debt of more education, formal education, should really consider and look into either CCRI to just stay in the college mode, or not, start making a plan on what you'd like to do, then go to your guidance counselor and share that so we can help support you to move forward. And parents need to know that. Juniors, they need to start thinking about what they're going to be doing. It is, you're right, Frank, thank you for bringing that up. At the high school age, 9th and 10th graders, keep your nose down in the books, get good grades, don't close the door on different opportunities, and make sure, you know, you come to school. Attendance is important. I'm done.
Thank you much. No, I just thought
All
that
right,
was an
and
important.
I'll do my full rotation for you. How's that?
We only have a couple more where we'll see this. Well, not really. It's November. What do we have? 8 more months? 7?
You have no 6, because June we go into the other. I probably won't have a set. I won't have a setup over there.
Okay.
Still don't know where I'm going yet, but we'll find that out soon.
All right. Well, we'll have the big reveal someday.
All right.
All
Okay.
right. Excellent.
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy
Thanksgiving.
All right. Take care.
That is Superintendent Colleen Burns Jermain, who joins us at this time every single month, 1:30 p.m. on the 3rd. Actually, normally it's the 3rd Wednesday, but we moved it because of Thanksgiving. So 3rd Wednesday of every month. So next month will be the 18th that she will join us. If you missed any portion of this, want to watch it, want to share it, all available on whatsupnewt.com as soon as I hit the end stream button. All right, Mr. Prosnitz.
Very good. As
All
always,
right.
a good discussion.
It is always a good discussion. And if you have questions for the superintendent that you want us to ask her when she joins us on our monthly basis, head on over to whatsupnewt.com, look for Ask the Superintendent, and plop it right there in the form, and we'll do our best to get an answer for you. Again, if you missed any portion of this interview, want to watch again, want to share it, listen to it, watch it, whatever it may be, all available on whatsupnewt.com. Thanks for watching.